Greetings and salutations, Viking family. I just wanted to take a few quick minutes to provide an overview of what your Friday morning Google Hangout meetings are going to focus on. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for all the work that they have done over these last 3 weeks since we've closed schools. I've been so impressed by the leadership, the creativity, and the willingness to go and be above and beyond for students. Over the last 3 weeks, we've really focused on trying to maintain student learning. We sent home packets. We've been doing weekly phone calls and check-ins with our students. We've been doing Google Hangouts and trying Zoom. We threw in a little professional development, and then we talked about social emotional learning. And we've really started to get to know things like Google Hangout and Google Classroom. I saw probably like close to 50 of you were able to hop on with John and Joe today and start thinking through like what Google Classroom could look like and if it's a tool that might be appropriate for you. So we've done so much learning. I mean, if you think about all the effort, we're moving mountains, friends. We're moving mountains, and that's so incredibly exciting. So thank you for everything that you've done. Now that the governor has closed school for the remainder of the year, we need to switch gears. And so we need to think about going from maintaining learning to a continuation of learning. So moving forward, we need to build a plan for remote learning opportunities for our students. And that, my friends, is by no means an easy task. However, I feel incredibly confident after talking with each of the PLC facilitators and administrators that we have a solid plan moving forward. Is it perfect? No. Have all the details been worked out? Not quite yet, but we've got places to start and we have to-do lists to complete. And so in the Friday morning meeting, you all are just going to start brainstorming to really just kind of think through and talk with one another and think about what this will look like. In the email, you're going to see an agenda for every grade level and a department, and you're also going to see the times in Google Hangouts for each group. Tomorrow morning. So please review your agendas and please review what time your particular hangout is taking place. This is going to be a setup that's very similar to DPPD. Unlike DPPD, this is going to be approximately an hour and a half meeting, just again to start brainstorming. After this meeting, we're going into spring break, and I really encourage you to just take some time with your families to recharge. So much has gone on, and I think it's just really important that we all take time for ourselves. It's not necessary that you contact your students. It's not necessary to do curriculum work or to start planning out the next weeks of instruction. Please, I encourage you to take time for yourself during spring break. When we come back from spring break, that week of the 13th, that's what we're going to be calling the retooling week. And during that time, you'll be getting together with your grade level and your department, and you're going to think through what your remote learning plan is going to look like. Again, your PLC facilitator is going to give you several pieces to consider and really walk you through what each individual plan looks like. Because what we do in elementary is not the approach we're taking in secondary. So we're differentiating instruction in a sense. So during that week, you'll be getting together. Families may be coming in to pick up various materials. Building administrators have been working so diligently to think through plans to get students the materials that they're going to need during remote learning. In 612, we're deploying devices out to students. We're helping them get creative solutions for how to get the internet. And so we're really going to take that time the week we come back before we launch into remote learning. Remote learning at this point is scheduled to start on 4/20, and that will continue for 8 weeks until 6/11, which would have been the end of school. So essentially what will be happening as we move forward is each grade level department, you're going to be pushing out weekly agendas to your students. And your PLC facilitator is going to walk you through a little bit what that's going to look like. Again, The whole goal for Friday is just to start thinking about this. You're not going to leave Friday with a completed plan. Okay. In preparation for Friday's morning, and I know this is late, I really apologize for getting this out so late to you. The part of in preparation for Friday's plan, if you guys could click on your individualized agenda, you'll see activity 1 has an article for you to review. So if you have time, at least maybe skim that article before you get to the meeting. Many of the meetings are starting at like 9 or 9:30. So if you do have time, I do encourage you to maybe look at that information if you're able to in preparation for that meeting. I know that some of the facilitators that I talked to after reading that felt more comfortable, because I think a lot of us maybe have certain perceptions of what remote learning is, and we're trying to be very intentional and reasonable about what expectations are going to look like for you. With regards to expectations, you will notice in your agenda that there is a list of expectations for teachers during remote learning. So be thinking about those expectations. And again, variables can be changing. So it's always important for us to be flexible as new questions arise and as new requirements arise for the state. One of our components is we're going to have to submit a plan to our ISD, and it needs to be approved for our remote learning plan. And already we feel really confident about what we're thinking about is going to be a solid plan to be submitted to the ISD. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thank you everything that you're doing for students. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me or email your administrator. Hope everybody has a great spring break. I hope you take some time to recharge, and let's get ready for this new adventure that's going to be remote learning. Have a great night, Vikes.